When you tour Barbados, one of the things that you notice immediately is the landscape. And even though the history of sugar on Barbados began in the 17th century, in the 1600s, the island still is largely covered with sugarcane plantations. These were all created with enslaved labor. Africans have contributed enormously to a lot of the developments that have resulted in the modern West. They've not only contributed their labor to the plantation economies, but they also were major consumers of a lot of the trade goods that were exported to Africa as part of the slave trade. And then as a result of a lot of that trade and migration, there were aspects of the cultures of West Africa, the cuisine, the language, the religion, that became an integral part of the cultures of the New World as well. One of the places that we had the privilege to visit during our field lab in Barbados was the Newton plantation, which is a very old plantation that was devoted mostly to sugar. Relatively recently, archaeologists have discovered that there was a burial ground for enslaved Africans on the plantation.
When I first approached it, you would never think it was people were actually buried there because there were no tombstones or anything like that.
Ritual burial and the inclusion of objects like pipes, pots of food, these are the kinds of things that have attested at this archaeological site to the profound connection between and preservation of African culture in the New World despite the traumas of the Middle Passage and enslavement.
It was very emotional for me because of, being an African American woman and knowing that my ancestors probably could have been working on this plantation. So it was very emotional just to walk and to look at the fact that they could have been working on this sugarcane field.
It was deeply powerful for them to be in a space in which the legacies of that trade that are also a part of their heritage and their history were shared across cultures and brought to life in a way that book learning or documentary film or lectures can't do.